Okay, this is something I've been needing to talk about for a while. All right, so Let's Play on Webtoon, I think it is. It just wrapped up like a month ago, season 1, I think, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't really know if I can keep on going. I'm pretty upset with the way things are going right now. It was so promising. It was so fucking promising. As soon as I started reading it, right, I could tell, okay, it's a martial law is just Markiplier. They're both half European, half Asian, though martial law in the story is half Japanese, half European. Markiplier is half German, half Korean. Apparently the girl who's doing this comic used to do artwork for Markiplier. I don't know, she developed a crush on him while things were going on, because now all of a sudden there's this web comic that she's doing that's got Markiplier in it as like a potential love interest. Okay, you know what? It is what it is. Whatever. Martial Law is actually a really cool character. I like him. Out of all the characters in the whole comic, I actually like him the best. And you can tell that he's supposed to be a love interest for the main character. By the way, spoiler alert, okay? I'm going to be taking all of this stuff and talking about it. I don't give a fuck right now. Season 1 is wrapped up. It's time to talk about this shit. Okay. I like Martial Law a lot, but I don't like the fact that they're trying to make it seem like he and Sam could possibly be a thing. Because Martial Law actually has a girlfriend already. And not just any girlfriend. Her name's Monica. She's absolutely fucking beautiful. She's a beauty creator. She's got beautiful long pink hair, beautiful nails, beautiful skin. She's just absolute glamorous. I think her YouTube handle is something Glamazon or Glam Kitten or something like that. And she's really nice. And not only is she nice, she has a dog. A really cute dog that you can tell has some sort of issues because she's always shaking and whatnot. Her tongue's always sticking out. It's adorable. And Marshall takes such great care of that dog. You can tell that he just fucking loves that dog. He's somebody who swoons whenever he sees animals. Of course, because I have 5 pets, I'm gonna swoon too. He's just the best. Sam herself, I don't really like her. I don't mind plain Jane characters, okay? I really don't. I'm just not a huge fan of plain Jane characters where someone is trying to change her. I like the fact that she doesn't wear any makeup. Her hair is simple. She's happy with the sort of work that she does. She's working in some sort of IT field for her dad's company, but she's making games on the side. That's what she wants to do. She's felt confident enough to actually put out a game on her own. I really like that about her. But now they're trying to change her. There's this guy working for her dad's company who's like a manager or a supervisor, this blonde fellow named Charles. I call him Welsh Kisses. That's my nickname for him because I can never remember his name. I actually had to write it down, to be honest, because I was like, Sam, Martial Law, Link, Welsh guy from The Office. What was his name again? I actually had to Google his name, to be honest. Whatever. There's him. He's obviously this guy who's trying to get her to step up because he knows that she's probably going to take over the company. Her dad wants her to take over the company. And he's trying to get her to be more confident, more aggressive and whatnot. He's trying to make her dress differently. He wants her to wear makeup. He's trying to get her to be more talkative and assertive. He wants to put her out in front of the public and stuff. And she's very shy with it. Okay. I'm someone who's actually really shy. So I related to Sam a lot in that she'd much rather take a backstage role than actually be the one in front. She has ideas for the company and whatnot, but she's like, hey, why don't you go ahead and approach the distributors about these ideas? I don't necessarily want to be the one who has to do that. I can create the ideas and you present the ideas, But he's like, no, I'll only approve stuff if you're the one who goes and tells the distributor that. And it's like, okay, buddy, for real, okay. I can kind of see him maybe wanting her to dress a little bit more professionally. She does tend to show up wearing baggy sweaters and slacks and stuff. I mean, she could stand to spruce herself up a little bit more. But he wants her to dress kind of a office sexy chic kind of deal, you know, sexy librarian kind of deal. Now, don't get me wrong, I love sexy librarian looks. I really do. There's nothing sexier than a pair of glasses, a bold red lip, hair up in a bun, 10 extra points if there's a pen or a pencil sticking out of the bun, okay, and kind of a stern, no-nonsense, buttoned-up sweater vest kind of deal. You can tell I kind of like that sort of thing. I always go for that sort of thing. But that's not exactly what he's going for. He wants her to wear stuff that's more form-fitting, he wants her to show off her curves. Now, if this was just because he wants that because he knows she's going to be the head of the company or that she's possibly going to take over the role of the company head at some point, that'd be different. But he obviously has a romantic interest in her, driving all the way to the other side of town so he can just happen to drive past her bus stop. So he can be like, oh, I was in the area. Can I give you a ride to work? What the fuck? I'm sorry, that's a little stalkerish. Then it turns out he's got some whips and chains kind of deal going on. He's got this fuck buddy relationship with somebody who works in the office building. He's got something kinky going on with Marshall's sister. You know, it definitely feels like there's shades of Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey going on there. He's blonde, you know, he's in a corporate sort of field. He exercises discipline in all things, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Obvious Christian Grey insert is obvious. It doesn't matter. He's okay. I don't really like him. But that's not actually why I'm here to vent. I'm here to vent because of Link. Lincoln, whatever the fuck his last name is. Link is Sam's friend. Sam apparently was ill growing up when she was younger. She was always in and out of the hospitals. While she was there when she was younger, she bumped into Link, who was there. His father was sick. He had cancer, I think lung cancer. They mentioned something like he used to smoke, or the dad used to smoke. At the hospital, she bumps into Link when she's younger, and like she helps him because, you know, he's really going through it. He's grieving over the fact that his dad is dying in front of his eyes, you know, and everybody expects him to be strong. He's got a younger brother who is expected to kind of set a strong example, take it like a man, take it on the chin, stiff upper lip sort of deal. But he's actually really, really emotionally broken by watching his dad die. I'm really close with my parents. I can relate to, if they're sick, worrying and whatnot, if the news is bad, that sinking feeling you get in the pit of your stomach. I completely, utterly related. And so it's not implied, it's almost outright stated. The first time we even meet Link, he's working at a coffee shop and he's like, hey Sam, so there's a movie coming up. This is present day. The flashback stuff is when they were at the hospital. So present day, he's in the coffee shop and he's giving her a cup of coffee in the morning, and he's like, so there's a movie coming up, you want to go see it with me possibly? And she's like, I'm not really into that sort of movie, maybe you want to ask someone else. It completely just goes over her head. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But then he's like blushing when he sees her. He's like watching her out the corner of his eye, these side glances, like, that sort of thing. And it's like super obvious to everybody that he's got a crush and whatnot. And so what really pisses me off the most about Link is that he has the nerve to work up the nerve. Hi, love. Welcome home. He has the nerve to work up the nerve to tell Sam, someone's like, oh, you can't, Sam is very inexperienced when it comes to romance. You got to actually spell it out to her. She's not going to get it unless you just say it. He works up the nerve to speak to her and be like, hey, I actually have a romantic interest in you. Let's go on a date. And she was completely oblivious up to this point. She thought of him just as a friend, just a friend. And she's like, oh. And she was like, oh, well, he is kind of hot. maybe I should date him. She goes on the date. She goes back and forth about whether or not she should, but then she gets kind of excited about the date. She goes on the date with him, and, she's noticing, how muscular he is. She's noticing his hair. She's noticing his face. She's like starting to get kind of attracted to him. There's even this really stupid gag they pull where she keeps getting a bloody nose, like this is a manga. It's like, I think Marshall even bumps into them on their date, and he lampshades the shit out of it, like, you keep getting bloody noses. It's almost like this is a trope from a manga where the person keeps getting a bloody nose every time they're turned on, and then he like cuts himself off and like stares at her, she's glaring back at him, and it's like, oh, they're lampshading it, it's cute. She starts to realize she finds Link attractive. Not just attractive, sexually attractive. And so she actually says at the end of the date, hey, can we kiss? She's never kissed anybody before. She's just inexperienced all around. She hadn't even had an interest in anyone until he expressed this interest. She's like, can we kiss? And she like leans up to him, with the and he's like, you know what? Never mind. And then he like leaves. And I'm like, what? Wait. And so she's sitting there all confused and shit. She's like, did I imagine it? I could have sworn this was a date, and so and then later on, she like approaches him about it. She's like, hey, how come we didn't kiss? I thought you liked me. And he's like, when you leaned up to kiss me, I actually was looking at you and I'm like, I don't really want to kiss her. I was like, he was like, I kind of feel like maybe we should just be friends. Like, I kind of see you as a little sister. And she's like all hurt and shit. And she's like, oh, yeah, sure. Let's just be friends, silly me, thinking that, and she's all confused and hurt and shit. And like, I'm sitting here with my jaw on the ground. Okay. I'm sitting here with my jaw on the ground. Why the fuck would he ever have gotten her hopes up? She's never been interested in anyone. Everybody's like, hey, maybe Sam's asexual. She's never shown an interest in anybody. Okay. And yet she finally expresses an interest in you because you've been showing that you've had an unrequited love for her all these years. You actually work up the nerve to ask her on a date. She actually starts to find you attractive. And then when it comes to time for the kiss, you're like, you know what? Never mind. I don't like you like that. And now it's all awkward and shit because now every time she goes to the coffee shop, she sees him and she's all hurt. She feels rejected and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And one of her friends, Angela actually actually calls him on it. She's pissed. Okay, she is pissed. She's like, why would you even do that? You hurt her needlessly. If you really felt like it was just going to be a platonic relationship, why did you even ask her on a date? Why did you get her hopes up that, something could happen between the two of you? She's never expressed an interest in anyone. And you made her think that you guys could happen because you guys are friends, because you're both attractive, because you've known each other for such a long time. You've got that bond, of her knowing about your dad and you knowing about how sick she used to be and all this stuff. You've got history together. And then you unnecessarily up her expectations that you guys can have a romantic relationship, and then you just tear it away. Like, she was pissed. This friend, Angela, she was pissed, and rightfully so. I was like, yes, that's right, Angela, rip him a fucking new one, because that really made me angry. And so everybody's like, oh, well, it's possible that maybe, he can hurt. And then, no. There's no hope for Sam and Link, which is good because fuck him. But then they're going to be like, hey, Link is suddenly looking at Angela. And he's like, this redhead who's tearing into me, she's kind of hot. And then I'm like, wait, whoa. Are you just going to fuck your way through the whole friend group? You know what? It just pissed me off. I did not like him. I'm really glad that he's out of the running for Sam. I really fucking wish he was out of the running for Angela because she fucking deserves better. There's like this stuff going on. Apparently she got attacked back in the day. It's implied that it was a rape, a sexual assault that happened, but she at the very least got her ass beat by somebody. But apparently she gave as good as she got. I think they said she ripped off one of the guy's balls. Like, oh shit, Like, I mean, I'm sure obviously he deserved it, but they said, yeah, she ripped off one of his balls. I was like, oh, okay, well, damn. Okay, go ahead, Angela. She deserves better than this fucking consolation prize that Link is. I don't like him. I do not like him. I really wish that they would take him out of the story. But, oh, he's hot. He's blonde. His hair is cute. He's got the sexy stubble 5 o'clock shadow. He's got the big buff arms. He works at a coffee shop. He shows that he's sensitive and kind, and he's got the tortured past because his dad passed away, and he's taking care of his brother, blah, 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 bullshit. I don't want him to end up with anybody. I don't like what he did with Sam. He fucked around with her feelings, fucked around with her emotions, and I cannot get past that for him. I do not like him as a character. I don't want to see him anymore in this story, but he's popular. People want him. I'd rather see the Welsh guy. What the fuck was his name? Welsh Kisses, Charles, whatever the hell his name is. I'd much rather see Charles in this story. And I don't even really like him either. I can barely remember his name. He's supposed to be the edgiest character because he's got all the dungeons and the whips and the S&M and bondage and blah, 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 and safe words and stuff. He's so edgy. I'm like, if you wanted a 50 Shades of Grey fanfic, you could have just written a 50 Shades of Grey fanfic. Why did it have to be a 50 Shades of Grey fanfic with Markiplier sprinkled in and some random douchebag friend? I don't understand where she was going with it. I'm sure season 2 is probably better. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if I even want to read season 2 because here's something that I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of love triangles. I don't like having to be like, oh, I really want her to end up with this person, but then you don't know really which way it's going to go. I mean, like, the most obvious example of a love triangle, is the Team Edward, Team Jacob thing from Twilight. They tried to give Jacob a decent fighting chance, like, for about a book and a half, it looked like he might end up with her. It's like, no, if you read have you met Bella? She's not going to end up with Jacob. Okay. All right. I don't know how I started talking about Twilight in this event about Let's Play. It doesn't matter. The point being, I'm not a big fan of love triangles. I'm not a big fan of love squares. And I am even less of a fan of love dodecahedrons. Okay? Let's see. Sam is possibly interested in martial law, who's already in a relationship with Monica. But then Link possibly likes Sam, but now he doesn't like Sam anymore and he likes Angela, but Angela likes Link, but she feels guilty about liking Link because he liked Sam. And then there's Charles, who's interested in Sam, at least sexually, but he's fucking martial law's sister, but he's also fucking this lady in the same office building as where he works. There's like 8 different love interests thing. If I tried to draw a line on here of who likes who, and just they like this person and that person likes that person, this would be all over the page. It would be circles. It would be a web. I cannot keep up. I'm confused. Let's Play has confused the fuck out of me. I don't know who to root for. I'd actually rather Sam didn't end up with anybody, but that never happens in these things. They always end up with somebody because love makes everything better. And yes, love does make the world a better place, but I feel like Sam is fine. She doesn't need anybody. She was fine on her own. She was a career girl, and now they've thrown all this love and lust and will they, won't they, and will he, won't he, and will she, won't she. They've thrown all this stuff in there, kind of fucked her character up a little bit. Like, I liked her at the beginning of the story. I liked her. I really did. They made it seem like it was going to be a rather straightforward story, and then they just they were like, hey, martial law lives next door to Sam. Maybe they'll start dating. But then they gave martial law a really fucking decent, more than decent, a bomb-ass girlfriend. So it's like, I don't want him to end up with Sam because he has a girlfriend already who's absolutely awesome, And once again, who has a really cute little dog. All right. Sam's got a cute dog too, but her dog don't like martial law, so it is what it is, Pets will out, right? If my dog hadn't liked my love interest, my now husband, I may have still tried to make it work. But luckily, I didn't have that problem because Pete loved him almost immediately. Well, he bit him a few times, but the love was there, I'm sure. The point being, before I even want to go on with season 2, I have to be fine with how season 1 ended, and I'm not. I'm not fine with it at all. I think that it was a waste of time. I think that the author probably wants her to end up with martial law at the end of the day. But this isn't a movie where if that sort of thing was going to happen, you see that the girlfriend was a bitch, like, oh, she was fucking around on him. She was cheating. Or she's really mean. She actually talks about him behind his back. She badmouths him. She's two-faced. She's sweet to his face, but she's mean to his family or mean to his friends or that sort of thing. Or, he likes her, but she doesn't like his dog. So there's all these, like, if this was a movie, if this was a romantic comedy movie, the girlfriend would be such a bitch that you would be like, oh yeah, fuck her. Let's get her out of there and get the main character into this dude, who's obviously so much better. But Monica is confident. Monica is beautiful. Monica is glamorous. Monica is a dog mom. Okay, and Monica is compassionate. Marshall is sick, okay, and he has some sort of heart problem, I think, and he's been told by the doctor, no sex for a month because your heart is, you could have a heart attack or something. So no sex for a month, no masturbating, no sex, no nothing, because your heart's weak. You need to let your heart heal. Okay, and so she's running around wearing sweatpants and sweatshirts and stuff because she doesn't want him to get turned on, but she's still there to help him, but he's still getting turned on because she's beautiful anyway. And like, it's hilarious, but she wants to help him so much. She's not in it just because she wants to fuck him, even though it's outright said that he's really good in bed. She's there because she loves him. She cares about him. She cares about his health, and she genuinely gets mad at him when she finds out that what led up to him actually having the heart issue in the first place was him. He was supposed to have been taking it easy. I think his health was starting to sort of decline at that point. But, she's like, take it easy for a day or two. Don't play any video games. Just rest and whatnot. But he took the opportunity to actually go and play Sam's game and play it properly this time. The whole plot was kicked off by the fact that he played the game at the beginning of the movie. At the beginning of the series, but didn't play it seriously. And he gave it a really bad review. And all of his fans came and ganged up on Sam. And they all trolled her so badly that her game got a really bad rating. He decided to play it again because she asked him to. Sam said, please play my game again. You played it wrong. You played it like it was an RPG. It's actually a puzzle game. And so he decided to play it again. And he really, really enjoyed it. But then he saw at the end of the game that she had dedicated the game to him before he did the original review, because apparently she'd been a fan of his. She'd been a fan of his channel for years before she ever even developed the game. And he felt like such shit, as he should have, for not being serious about playing the game and giving it an honest review instead of just sort of doing a little quick, oh yeah, this game's stupid, don't play it, like he did. He felt like shit. And he ended up having a nervous breakdown because of it. And Monica was so pissed when she found out that the reason why he had the nervous breakdown is because he had gone against his word to her. Instead of taking it easy, he'd spent the whole day playing Sam's game, getting himself all worked up and whatnot emotionally, because apparently it was a really good game. But then also just feeling absolute and utterly shitty about how he had treated her game and treated one of his fans without even knowing it. That he ended up having a nervous breakdown. She was so angry. She was like, why did you do that? Why did you play the game? What, didn't I tell you to rest? Why won't you listen to me? Now your health is in jeopardy. She's such a good girlfriend. And they want him to end up with shy wallflower Sam. Why? Because she's a fan? Because they live next door? Because she's got big boobs? I don't understand. Why? What does Sam have to offer Marshall that Monica doesn't already have in spades? Is it because Monica's not a game developer and only game developers know each other and can understand each other? That's absolute and utter bullshit, to be completely honest. So, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with my rant. Anyways, thanks for listening to my vent. Appreciate it. Bye.